so much has happened. So Wayne was actually behind the water tower falling on Wax's wedding. Interesting move. An even more interesting move, Wayne telling Marcy not to give up on Wax. I don't know how I feel about this. I know in the past videos I've said that I liked the kind of will they won't they between Wax and Marcy. Obviously, the age gap is apparent. For me, what was appealing was the idea that, like, she obviously had feelings for him, but he was not debating feelings for her. He was debating feelings for himself, as if he'll allow himself to be happy again. And I just thought that was really interesting. But yeah, Wayne was like, don't give up. We'll see what happens. Oh. Also, we went to school, and I barely graduated high school. So this scene with Vendel, the Khandra, being like, okay, so we got fortune, investiture, which is a very hard word for me to pronounce, identity, and connection. And from what I understand, investiture is the raw power that is, allomancy and feruchemy, right? And that makes the bead that Ellen swallowed to become Mistborn a much bigger deal than I thought. Very interesting. And also, Hoyd took one of those. So what's he doing? The fact that Vendel has Breeze's hands is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. It's just a funny little detail. He's like, yeah, Breeze said I could have him. And he's like, so technically Wax was like shaking hands with his ancestor. It's so weird, but I like it. And then the picture in the slideshow showed Wax's sister being taken away by a dude. And he was like, oh my god, someone has my sister. But like, we knew that his uncle had his sister because he said it in the last one. So, yeah, was his uncle in the picture? He said like one of those men could have been my uncle. But there was a few of them. So, yeah, what's going on there? Wayne pretending to be Wax is fantastic. And somebody was talking about Wayne and they said, that's Edith's boy? Do I know Edith? Who's Edith? What's that? Huh. I did really like the scene between basically Wayne saying bye to Renette. I really liked that. And he's like, well, you gotta grow up sometime. It's like the second that he found out she had a girlfriend, he's like, oh, okay, well. And then he's like, so, would both of you wanna? Okay, sorry. Wax and Steris bonding was so cute. And I loved it. It's funny, because, like, when Vin and Elend were getting together, it was very much like kids falling in love. It was just this beautiful thing that was happening. But Wax and Steris, it's like two adults falling in love, And I like it. It's so interesting because Steris is like, I understand that I'm a lot, and, just thanks for, sticking with me. And he's like, you are not that bad. And she's like, no, I am. Trust me, I know. And he's like, no, you're really not. And I like that he's pretty much like every time she looks at the ground, he's like picking her chin up and be like, hey, you're actually pretty delightful. And then she's like, also, we're short like, 3 cents. And he's like, what? She's like, you're a detective. Maybe you can find it. And the next thing you know, they're both like sifting through ledgers and like, oh, I found $1. I found $2. I love that. In the broadsheet, they mentioned Kalkis, which are metal beings? What is that about? And Spook ruled for 100 years? That's pretty cool. Imagine like really old Spook. I don't know why, that just makes me happy. And Hemalurgy can create like monsters and like creatures because people are like experimenting with it now. Who's experimenting? Who's doing that? Especially because it's not like widely known, the practice of hemalurgy. Yeah. Steris having extra vials of metal for Wax is just perfect. It goes back to every video I've ever made. When you have a woman who's on top of things and just knows what's up, they think of things you would never think of, and just, wow. And then these cancel out allomancy grenade things, where did those come from? Who can do that? Who thought of that? And who can make that? I don't like that at all. That's bad. That makes me worried for a lot of reasons. Steris showing up as Wax is on top of the train and sees like a gun barrel coming up, and you're like, who's that? And it's Steris, and she has Renette's shotgun, and he's like, oh no. And she shoots it clips the bandit, and then shoots herself off of the train, and he has to like go save her. And then he catches her. He's like, I told you to stay put. And she's like, no, no, no. You said to stay safe. And I'm fairly certain the safest place is near you. And he's like, you want to go back in? And she's like, yeah. I love this. I do. Just, what a woman. What a woman.